Welcome to the Speaker's Corner. Just another day over here. The weather's really bad outside. There's a lot of snow. There's also freezing rain in the forecast. So there are a lot of issues with the weather. Generally, when the weather is like this, you'll always have some fools who take it upon themselves to essentially drive recklessly, and they usually end up causing accidents. So that's one of those things that happens every time over here that there is a major snowfall. And because of that, you have issues. I can understand if you are from a climate where you're not used to snow. I could understand that. But when you are in a climate, in a place where snow occurs frequently and you've lived there for a while, shout out to Spammer. Welcome to the show. But if you've lived in a climate where you have come across snow on a regular basis, then guess what? You should not have any reservations dealing with the snow. So you would essentially act accordingly when you see the snow on the ground. So that's pretty much where it's at in terms of that. You just do the best you can with what you've got, and you essentially move on from there. So I'm going to continue to send out some more links to some different people and see who I can get to come on here. Just give me a moment here. Shout out to all the people that I've been in contact with. It's great to have been able to hear from them, and I'm just waiting to get things arranged properly so that I can go from there. So earlier today, I went to the gym to exercise. What I did was I did a number of exercises to cover a bunch of areas that I wasn't able to cover. The past week, I was very, very sick, and I wasn't able to get into the gym to train. I remember the Wednesday, I thought I'd felt a little bit better. And what I did was I went into the gym to train. But realistically, I needed the Wednesday off. And I had done that contrary to what I was feeling in my body. There have been times where I haven't felt good and I train and I've gotten better. But that was just a situation in which I jumped the gun and trained. So from Wednesday to Thursday to Friday, I was sick. Towards Friday, I started to have some improvement, and Saturday was a little bit better. And it's Sunday. Sunday, I feel a lot better. And The coughing has gone away. I was thinking about getting some cough medication, but the cough appears to have gone away. So I'm not going to bother with that. One of the things people have to be aware of when it comes to the whole medication situation is that for me, I'm only going to take the medication when it's absolutely necessary. So if I don't need it, I won't take it. Because a lot of times you go and you see the doctor and they're trying to push all of these different things onto you. And that makes it really a problem because of the fact that it's unnecessary. So if I have a problem, I'm going to try to address the problem by getting to the root cause, and I'm going to try to make sure that I get the correct information on that problem. Stress is something that really messes people up, and it's a challenge many times to essentially reduce stress. It's a major challenge because the stress comes in all sorts of forms. The stress is a really, really tough thing to deal with at times. So you have to find things that you can really work at. You have to look to get away from toxic people. You have to look out for your own best interests. So there's so many things that are connected to stress. And to keep your mission as clear as possible, what is it you want to achieve? What are you trying to get done? Because you do have a lot of situations whereby you're there and you need to be able to sort things out for yourself. Plain and simple. There are times in life you come across some people and they're so draining. They're so draining emotionally to the point that you don't even want to you don't even want to entertain them. You don't even want to be concerned with them because they're so draining. And that's something that I've come to realize, to move away from these draining people, these two-faced people, these people who don't keep their word. That's something that I've come to recognize, that it's necessary for you to continue to move forward and do the things that you need to do. I've seen so many different circumstances in my life. And I'll tell you some things that I have come to notice. You will get an offer, and the offer seems like a great deal. But when you look into it further, it's not a good deal at all. But you're unable to see what is going on. Let me give you some more information on that. There will be a job that on paper pays more money. And you think to yourself that because it pays more money, you should go for it. And when you factor in the time on the road, the aggravation, and all the extras surrounding that. You come to realize that it would have been better if you took something closer to where you lived for less money because of the fact that at least you could reduce certain things. I used to hear them say less is more. That's a term that I would hear in the fashion industry. And I couldn't understand why that statement was made. And it took me a while to recognize the actual importance of that statement. You see, less nonsense equals more sense. Plain and simple. Less nonsense equals more sense. And with more sense, you have the ability to get more things done. And getting things done is absolutely essential. Just give me a second here. Makes you think. Some of the ways in which they present the things really don't add up. And you have to be able to get to the bottom of those things. It's like these contracts with these hidden things inside them. And you're unable to see what they're about if you don't start to ask certain questions and to look into certain issues. Big sale, big this, big that. Okay. So where's the rest of it? How does that work? You have to be able to ask those questions. Where did they get that from? How much is that? You really have to check. Check to see exactly what it's about. I'm seeing so many things being advertised, and there's no quality behind these things. Cost goes up, and the quality goes down. Can you imagine that? Cost goes up, quality goes down. And you're expected to stay there and deal with the nonsense. Makes you really think. But it's just necessary to continue to do what you need to do. I'm in the gym now very regularly. I'm seeing some improvements. I'm getting more vegetables into my nutrition than ever before. I am continuing to learn more about training and applying these things. It makes you think about how a lot of things that you need to do, you'll have to do on your own. Because what I've come to learn is that the vast majority of people don't want to see anyone succeed. Just give me a second. Just have to send this message. Give me a moment here. Still pushing out some more stuff. Just give me a second here. Yeah, you really have to get your things in order. Be prepared to put things together yourself. I noticed that when things are very, very serious, you have to put forward total initiative. And that means that you need to go out there and put the money up, plan the things, arrange the things, and be willing to do as many things as possible to see this thing through. To me, we are in a flake culture where people talk a lot and do very, very little, where they have a lot of things to say, and when it's time to do something, they're nowhere to be found. There's a lot of that goes on, and that seems to be something that is promoted these days. People who don't keep their word. It just makes you think. Today is one of those days where I need the time to just chill out and do my own thing. I still do have a number of things to do, such as clean, prepare clothing, prepare food. I've never been able to get up early in the morning and prepare food. That's something that I've always had to do overnight. Because when I get up in the morning, I just want to pick up the things and get out there. That's all. I just want to pick up the things, get out there, and go about my business. Nothing more, nothing less. So, you know what? I'm going to wrap up this conversation. Shao has taken the opportunity to listen, and we'll talk another time.